Learn auto body and paint. Anyone can do it. Alright, so in this video we're going to be doing Basecoat Clearcoat on this van project. If you missed the previous video on spraying sealer, this is a little glimpse of it. We used a Nason 1K sealer. Basically just mix it up from your can and spray it. I love the stuff, it works really good. There's all other types of 1K sealers as well. I've used Transtar with great results. So we're strapped on the gun bud light system here. It helps so much in DIY garages and even in spray booths because it totally eliminates shadows. So if you don't have a gun bud, I'm doing a special right now on my website. Check the link in the description. You can get one for free. Just help me with the $19.99 shipping and handling. And you also get access to my VIP auto body program. So there's going to be a lot of content in this, a lot of narration in this video with the base coat. So stay tuned. I think you're going to like it. There's a lot of questions I'm probably going to just answer for you as well. So we're doing a two-tone here. Okay, we're putting a black stripe down the middle of the truck, the hood, the roof, and the bed. I'm using a Atom X16 mini spray gun here with a 1.3 tip. Brand new gun. I just set it up. I'm cleaning it out. Any brand new gun you get, you want to make sure you just clean it out with lacquer thinner. Take the oils out of it if there's any oil in the tip head and stuff like that, right? So I just cleaned it up. Our base coat, our sealer, my mistake, has been on here for about an hour. We just let that flash. I tacked it all down, and now we mixed up our base coat 1-to-1 ratio, just black base, and I'm spraying the center of the hood here because we're gonna let that dry and mask it up. I'm using the X16 spray gun here. We're just putting a nice couple heavy coats of black. Okay, we're gonna get that, and then we're gonna be using a fine line tape to basically make our stripes, and we're going to cover it up and then spray the eruption green base coat on the rest of the truck. Take the center masking paper off the black and then clear coat it. Now, a lot of people ask, hey, how long does base coat have to dry before you start pinstriping for graphics? Anywhere from 1 hour. Okay, so you let your base coat sit for at least an hour, let that dry good, then you could do your masking, your pinstriping with the fine line tape on top of that, no problem. And you can wait up to 5, 6, 7 hours to do that. So we're doing the back piece here. It's going to be like a foot wide stripe going down the truck. I'm just doing our black base coat here. We gave it two nice heavy coats. Let that dry for about an hour, 45 minutes give or take. So this is what it looks like all done. Then I basically just mask it up. Now I did have a little bit of dust floating around in the black, so I just got some 800 grit on a piece of sandpaper just to kind of knock those high edges off, and I just dusted a little bit more black base coat on it. But this is how it's looking. You can see here that I masked everything up, and I didn't have the exact video masking the pinstriping this, but I do have a bunch of other videos in Learn Auto Body VIP that take you through the process of every little detail. This is more about Basecoat Clearcoat, but this is how the process is done. Don't forget to grab your free Gun Bud Ultra Lighting System. This thing is a top seller on Amazon for $59. You can get it for 20 bucks. Just tell me where to ship it, and you'll get access to Learn Auto Body VIP free for 30 days. Check it out. You have nothing to lose and all to gain. Just click the links. We're running out of stock on this. Grab your free Gun Bud Ultra Lighting System, and I'll see you in the next videos. Talk to you soon. Have a good day. Now we're spraying our eruption green base coat, hitting our door jambs. Now I had some extra green that was just laying around the shop, a lighter coat of green. So I mixed some of that up, and I'm just getting the green color on here. This is not the actual color, but I'm just getting this green, one coat, and then I'm going to go over it with our main coat, just so we save on some paint. So you can see the gun bud does a wonderful job lighting up areas. Now this is the actual green. Now I'm going over the whole truck with a nice coat of base coat. I'm using the Atom X20 spray gun here with a 1.3 tip I used on this project. Anywhere from a 1.4 to 1.3 is in the range where you want to be when spraying Basecoat Clearcoat. So you know, some people like the 1.4, you know, you get more material out, but the 1.3 does a great job. It's user preference. You know, you try. It's like shoes. You know, you sometimes you like Nike fits a little bit better, or Adidas fits better, but they still work. You know what I'm saying? So we're giving this a nice, beautiful coat of base coat. Notice the speed and flow of how I'm laying this on. I'm spraying at about 26, 27 psi trigger pulled, and I show you how to set up the spray guns as well in VIP and in my other YouTube videos, but it's pretty simple. I also have the RADS paint formula training that you can check out, where we cover, you know, the ratios, speed and flow, distance to panel, all that, and how to get great coverage with all of your paints. You can see I'm just flowing it on, right? Take your time. And this is normal speed. You know, sometimes guys like to speed it up. It looks cooler on videos, but this is normal speed with 26, 27 pounds coming out of the gun. Full wide open fan pattern, full fluid open fan pattern. And again, if you want spray gun settings, I have different videos on my channel. Or go to learnautobodyandpaint.com and just get access to everything in VIP. So this is what it's looking like. So we're going to do 2 medium wet coats of base coat, and then peel off our center masked up area, right, where we have our black base, and then put 2 medium heavy coats of clear coat. Super, super simple. All right, you can see this is the second coat. And I know it kind of seems like I keep selling this thing, but once, like, you know, if you're in a DIY garage like mine, like I don't have any lighting on the back of the truck here, but because of the gun bud, I can see exactly what I'm doing. Even in the low corner, low lit spots in the corners and all that. Like, all I have are fluorescent lights on top. And believe me, I used to set up lights on the side of my shop, but you still get shadows. But when you strap the gun butt on, it just lights up everything right in front of you, and it allows you to spray better because you can see what you're doing. It'll allow you to identify dry spots or clouding or not enough coverage, so you don't get runs and sags. Because that's one of the main things, is while you're painting, you want to see it lay on. That's the most important thing. And you can backtrack if you find a spot where it's like, wow, I don't have much coverage here. You just backtrack and just hit it again. See what I'm doing here? I'm just making sure I have good coverage. I'm just watching, looking. I use the light as well to help me. And that's pretty much it. Pretty simple. So this is our second coat of base coat. Door jambs are pretty much done. Laying on really nice. Now, you don't have to always use a sealer. You can use a 2K filler primer as a sealer. All right, but sealer helps just get everything one color, uniform, all sealed up, and your base coat jobs just come out nicer as well. But you could get the same thing with a nice 2K filler primer. Sand it all down, 400 grit, get all your orange peel, paint texture out, and then just lay it on. So you can see how this base coat on the fender here is pretty much dried, right? You get that matte finish. It's not really good if you start having orange peel on it, it's not really a good sign. Maybe your paint is a little too thick, maybe you mixed it too thick and it's drying too fast. So make sure your mixtures are correct. This is a 1-to-1 mixture on base coat here. I'm using a medium reducer on base coat. I usually use medium reducers to slow reducers on base coat and clear coat, so it gives everything a chance to flow out. Okay, and base coat normally dries in like 30 minutes. Okay, but I like to wait about an hour before I do my pinstriping and masking for graphics. So I'm using the House of Color USC01 clear coat. It's a glamour clear. I love this clear coat. You hardly get any dye back with this, and when it dries, it just dries shiny and it looks freaking beautiful. Okay, so I'm doing our mixture here. I believe it's 3-to-1, 3-1-1. So 3 parts clear coat, 1 part hardener, 1 part reducer. Okay, we're mixing that up. Now we're laying our clear coat. Lay it on glossy. And the second coat, you just go a little bit heavier. And this is where the light really helps because you can see it flow out and see it lay on glossy. Okay, I'm just making sure, I'm just looking. Taking your time. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to rush it. Some people just rush it and they just screw up on their speed and flow and they get runs and sags. But I'm telling you, like, once you strap that gun butt on and the light is right there in front of you, and it's positioned above the cup pointing down, so it's, you don't really see a glare. It's, you're getting a different angle now from our camera view here, but when you're actually in back of the gun here, I had like a moth, I think, landed on it and it kind of came down. Or that might have been just water. So you know what I did? That was water probably from my mask, my sweat. So what I did was I made sure that base coat was dry before I got a lint-free towel and I just hit it just to suck up the water. And then I just rebased it again and then clear coated it. So sometimes you're going to run into like little minor issues while you're clear coating, especially if you're not in a booth like me here, you know. I ended up getting a big mosquito on the hood of this project. Not a big deal, you know, you can always sand it out and redo it. But it is what it is. This is my personal work truck, so I didn't really care about it. But you can see how this is normal speed now. You can see how I'm just laying on that clear coat in a nice speed and flow. Okay, and on flat surfaces like hoods, roofs, and trunks, you can lay it on extra thick and not have to worry about running too much because it's just, where's it going to go? It's just going to lay flat and level out. But your fenders, doors, quarter panels, the sides of the cars, you got to be careful you don't lay it on too thick because that's how you're going to get sags and runs. Right? And I like to start at the middle. You can start from the middle and work your way out, or you can start from one edge and go down. Okay, and I'm using two hands here, so it's good to paint with two hands because sometimes your arm will just get tired. You know, you're consistently painting. So now I'm spraying with my left hand. And I'm just as good with my left hand as I am with my right hand with spraying because I've just been doing it for so long. And it helps give your arm a break. If your right arm is getting tired or your dominant arm is getting tired during painting, just switch up for a couple minutes with your other hand, give it a break, and then you can just go back with your dominant hand. Okay, this is okay. Spray gun settings on clear coat. I like to up my pressure, especially on the last coat, but I'm spraying normally at around 29 pounds here. Not quite at 30, you know, 28, 29. I up my pressure. And on the last coat, you're going to notice that I move a little bit slower. My speed and flow is going slower to lay that clear on. You're not going to go extra slow because if you go too slow, you're going to end up with runs and sags. So you want to make sure you have that perfect speed and flow. And this is why I'm showing you in real time here my speed and flow based upon a 1.3 tip setting, full fluid flow, wide open fan pattern, and this is pretty much how you're doing it. Okay? And my dad, you know, I used to watch my dad paint in the garage when I was 13, 14, 15, just watching, because he says just by watching you can learn so much, just by watching. You can see here I'm really loading this second coat of clear on. Don't be afraid. And if you have, you know, say you completed the two coats, you're done with the paint job, it looks great, but you have like a half a cup of extra clear, pick a spot and just load it on if you want. You know, pick a spot, like redo the tailgate again. It'll give you more room for color sanding and buffing later if you plan to do it. If you have enough, just hit the hood one more time. Just make sure that you're not into your flash time too much, because if you're into your flash time too much and your clear coat's setting up, then the panels adjacent to it are going to get kind of like an overspray and not dry glossy. You're going to have a little overspray. But, you know, that type of stuff can be sanded and buffed, no problem. But just take that into consideration. So it's best to spray, you know, a second and a half coat or a third coat on a panel like right after you clear coat. Don't wait too long because your clear coat's going to be setting up and drying. You know what I mean? So here I'm just kind of going extra. I'm just laying it on a little bit extra even after I just clear coated this entire truck bed. Just laying it on. And yeah, my ventilation here is not the best, but it works. So it's a little foggy in here, but it clears out in a couple minutes. Just clear coat, you know, when you're just spraying so much. So this is the finished product. It looks freaking amazing. Check it out.
Shiny. Not bad, not bad. Big bug flew in it. Whatever. But it looks good. Overall, it looks great.
So
Good,
take
nice.
note, this is about an hour, hour and a half after the paint job. So around an hour to 2 hours after your paint job, you're going to want to start taking the masking paper off just to reduce paint peeling. 'Cause sometimes your masking is very close to the edge there, and you want to peel the paper off when your clear coat is still a little on the wet side. See, I just put some commentary there. But peel your paper 1 to 3 hours after paint. You don't want to wait overnight. Okay, so I'm just taking all the paper off my door jambs here, the outside, and then the next day you can start putting everything on. So if this was a show truck, then you would basically start color sanding and buffing this thing before putting your pieces together. Sometimes if your windows are out, you can leave your masking paper in and then just color sand it and buff it. Okay, but this is a different thing. We're putting this thing together because I need the truck and we're going to be doing the buffing later. So I'm going to show you step-by-step process on color sanding and buffing on this project as well. But we're going to just put this truck back together because it looks fabulous. Like, this truck really didn't need to be buffed out, but I buffed it anyway, and I have videos on that for you. So the next day, all I did was clean up our moldings, put everything back together, put the mirrors on it, and our trim pieces back on it. And then later on, we give it about a week or two, then we buff it. Now, obviously, if you're using a speed clear and you did a fender for a customer, you could literally buff it out 3-4 hours after your clear coat. But I like to wait, you know, a good day before buffing for customer jobs. Give it time to set. Buff it out the next day if you have orange peel or some type of imperfection, you know, a bug or whatever. So we're just putting everything back together here. I like to use lacquer thinner and clean all of our rubber trim. Just wipe it just like this before putting it on, because why would you want to put on old, ugly weather stripping on a new paint job? So I like to wipe everything down and then put everything back together. The lacquer thinner does a great job. You can see it here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this segment. In the next videos, I'm going to show you exactly how to color sand and buff for even glossier finishes. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit up learnautobodyandpaint.com because you can do this. Even if you have no experience, I'll show you exactly how to bang out amazing paint jobs like this without a spray booth. Look at this thing. This is not even buffed, and it came out freaking fabulous. Like, everywhere I go now, people still comment on this truck. They're like, who painted it? And when I say I did, they're like, they get shocked, you know? So anyway, check out VIP, get the free gun bud, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Hey, my name is Tony and I grew up learning auto body from my father. I painted my first motorcycle at 13 and my first car at 15. With over 30 years of experience, I founded Learn Auto Body and Paint in 2009 to help DIYers like you master auto body from your home garage. Today, Learn Auto Body VIP is trusted by schools and help tens of thousands transform their rides, open up shops, and create new income streams. And now it's your turn. Subscribe now, check the links in the description, and don't forget to head down to learnautobodyandpaint.com to get some free guides, cheat sheets, and video training. I'll see you there.